But today we have something interesting and something different. Today I have an interview at about 8 p.m. and I thought before I go to that interview, I will talk about how I particularly get ready for an interview. Okay, how I particularly get ready for an interview. At the same time, I will talk about what you can do to make sure you are ready for an interview. First things first, you should be ready with like the setup that you want on your background, the setup that you want in front of you. Make sure your laptop is charged. I am telling that to myself because my laptop isn't charged. Let's talk about outfit because that is one of the most important factors of you getting ready for an interview. So the outfit that I am wearing is this. Okay. Anyway, in this interview of mine, you will not be able to see what I'm wearing on my bottoms, but I'm making sure that I wear good bottoms. So in case I have to get up and leave and kind of open the door or something, I will be able to do that. Wait. I just got my earphones to make sure that you guys are able to hear me properly. Alright. Okay, I hope these are connected. Are they connected? I was talking about how important it is to wear pants on this interview. What I make sure that I always do is wear like a top that is professional and cool at the same time. So I am interviewing for like a team lead kind of position, like a higher position. So I'm making sure that I'm wearing something that is comfortable, that is good looking, and that gives you like a vibe that hey, she is professional. Um, Something that I'll always suggest is make sure that you are wearing something that you feel lucky in. If you are somebody who believes in luck, make sure that you're wearing anything that makes you feel lucky, because you can get positive energy out of anything, especially during your interviews. And if it makes you feel positive, it makes you feel positive. Never shy when you are getting ready for an never shy around when you're getting ready for an interview. The next thing that I would always suggest is to grab like a small snack before you actually sit for an interview. You don't want to be at a position where um, hmm, the interview is going very well, but you are hungry, so you know it is visible on your face. Ha, okay. That it is visible on your face. You wouldn't want that. In fact, always have to think whenever you sit for an interview, you always have to think that y- if you were interviewing for this role, what would you want that samne wala person, what would you want the person to feel like? They'll probably feel like, hey, they have to come off as confident, so you have to make sure that you come off as a confident person and you feel like you know about what you're going for. um, Few things that I will always suggest to you is make sure that you do your makeup, or matlab, if it's a guy, then whatever your hair thing or your skincare or whatever, you make sure you do that in a way that it makes you feel much more confident, that you makes you feel like, hey, I know my stuff. Hey, I know that I look good. Wear anything and everything that makes you feel good about yourself. Wear like a nice perfume or a nice scent, so that you're able to feel fresh and also give up that fresh and hey, I know my stuff energy. Okay, all right, I'll be placing you there. Other things, okay, like I think I don't have to speak about this. People would already know that for an interview you always make sure that you read the JD, you research about the company, you go on their LinkedIn or go on their Instagram and check them out first, so that you know that what you are getting into, and the person in front of you, whoever is interviewing you, also knows that hey, you've taken the time out to get to know what this company does. It always adds like a certain value. The other things that I would always tell anybody who's going for an interview is make sure you come off as a human being. I'm getting the notification for the interview. Make sure you're coming off as a genuine, nice, and kind human being, because it's always nice. People need people to work with. They don't need robots. So make sure that you greet the person, make sure you ask them about their day, ask them what the weather is over there. Like, I am currently going to be interviewing with, say, international organization. So I'll always ask, hey, what's the weather there? What's the time there? What time do you get off, or something like that. The other kind of questions that I'll always ask is, I'll make sure that I ask them what like this. These are professional questions. Okay, I know that you should always have like a pen and paper in hand, so it feels like, hey, you're writing down something and you're trying to understand what this person is talking about. The questions that I ask this person, always, whenever I'm interviewing with anybody, I always ask this question: ki, hey, what does the work day look like for this particular role? What time do I log in? What does my day look like? How many breaks do I get, or how many different things that I have to kind of figure out on my own, and how much assistance that I'm going to get. Second thing is, I'll always ask, hey, who will I closely work with? Will I work with you? Will I work with somebody else? The other questions I'll ask is this like the first round? Is it like the third round? How many rounds are going to be there? Uh, Other question, yeah, the most important question that I almost always ask is, why are you hiring for this role? There are two possibilities. They'll either say somebody is, like, moving into another business, or they're moving out, or or they are actually they're going to tell you that, hey, we are hiring this because we're expanding the business. So when they say that you are expanding the business, it's always amazing, because it means that the company is growing, right? And you being at a growing company is always nicer. It is going to give you that confidence to make sure that, hey, if the company is growing, I also have like potential growth in this company, which is amazing. So always make sure you ask curious questions while this interview is happening. They're always going to ask you a couple of things, right? And you'll come across certain questions. So make sure that you write these questions down and you ask them, because it looks like you're paying attention. Something that I have been taught, and I will always tell you, is, because these interview for me the interview is happening online, it might be happening offline for you. Make sure you have like eye contact with that person, and you come off as a confident person. You ask them, okay, ki, hey, how was your day? Or you come off as that confident person. Something that my really good friend recommended to me is, before the interview starts, 5 minutes or 2 minutes before the interview starts, sit down and visualize yourself in that particular role. In this case, we'll just take like a manager or a team lead. So imagine yourself having like a team of 5 or team of 10. You're managing them, you're able to tell them, ki, hey, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. Imagine that you have a really great relationship with everyone. You make like whatever money expectation you have. You imagine that that particular money is getting credited to you. Imagine that you're having like a ball of a time with at this job that you're doing, because we spend about what, 9 to 10 hours, 12 hours uh, on this particular job, right? So I hope that you know that you should have fun at this job. You should have friends at this job. You should be able to connect with them. You should have something in common. So you have to come off as like a genuine, nice, kind person, because if you come off as a unkind and rude person, then it doesn't matter, because nobody wants to work with unkind people. Like, I wouldn't hire somebody who feels like an unkind person. The next thing I would say is, yes, we spoke about how you have to be like a human on this calls. So always have like a genuine smile on your face. Make sure that you have a genuine smile on your face. We spoke about how you should always grab like a quick bite before the interview. I'll always also tell you that you should always have a water bottle around you, so that in the interview, like, I am a yapper, I can talk and talk and talk. I always make sure I have some water around me, because if I don't have water around me, then I'll have to stop talking, because my throat is going to dry up. And See, it's happening right now, and I'll start coughing or something. Okay. So make sure that you always have water with you in any scenario. You'll always need some water. Some other things that I'd recommend is make sure whatever role that you're interviewing for, you know something about the role, of course. Otherwise, the interview wouldn't have gotten set up. Um, you go through the JD that the company has provided you, and you go through all of that very you pay attention to detail. You do, like, you take your time, you mindfully go through that JD and make sure you kind of use the words that is there in the JD, so it comes off as, hey, this person has either paid attention or is very normal at this interview, knows what we want, right? You always want to come off as that person. In offline interviews, when it's sorry in online interviews, when it's happening over like a video call, you make sure that your camera is turned on, whether it is required or not required. I'm telling you, it has happened with me in one of my interviews. It was not required for me to turn on my camera, but I did anyway. It was the last role that I was interviewing for. It was a social media role, and as soon as we joined in for the interview, the person told me, "Hey, it's not required for you to show you like turn on your camera for this interview." I told that particular person, "Hey, I'm going to be working in social media, and I'm going to be remotely working with you guys. So at least I want to show you my genuine face and show you my genuine expressions, so that you feel connected with me. I don't expect you to turn on your camera because I understand that this was not communicated in advance, but I would want to do that because this is especially an offline role, and I would want to see my own expressions on how I talk to you, and whatever I can improve, I can." On that pointer, I would always say ki at the end of an interview, if you feel like the interview went really well and you'll get like the next line or next interview or whatever, you make sure that you tell them ki, hey, it was really nice talking to you. I can't wait for another interview. Showing that confidence that, hey, I know there's going to be a second interview or there's going to be an offer letter or whatever. Please communicate if you have like an offer in hand or something. And if you feel like the interview didn't go well, and it legit does not match what you want to do in life, then always go ahead and communicate that, hey, it was really nice talking to you. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for to have us to have a next conversation. And if it doesn't happen, where we don't get to have a conversation later, I hope you have a good day, you have a good experience, you have a good week. I hope that you have fun wherever, whatever you're doing. Your XYZ company is doing really well. You're doing something good for the customers. You're doing something good for your clients. I hope you guys grow, and I hope we get to work somewhere in the future. So this is like, positives. So at the end of the day, the person should at least leave with that, with that connect with you, at least thinking that, hey, even if we did not hire her, she was a really good person, because this person can be a person of power. They can refer you in some other department. They can refer you to their friends. You always talk when you have a good experience with anybody, you kind of go and tell this to other person. So whenever I have a good interview session, or whenever I have a good interaction, even in offline, in like general life, I always go and talk about it to my friends or to my family. Like, hey, this person made me feel special, or this person made me feel like happy, or had like a positive impact on me. And it works wonders for you. So you make sure that you are able to, show up as that person who is confident, who's kind, who is loving, who's generous, who's honest. And make sure you have water and food before you go. Hmm. I actually forgot to tell you that one of the most important things is you always have to be on time. Never be late. And if in like circumstances where you have to be late, please communicate in advance, at least to the HR or at least to the person, whoever you're connected to, because that shows that you are, actually interested in the role. And it's somebody's time, right? You have to respect somebody's time, because they are respecting yours as well. Make sure that uh, Make sure that you, whenever, at least what I try to do is, I sit whenever I have to interview, I sit like 15 minutes before the interview. I'm like professionally ready, and I'm sitting in front of my laptop, and I'm ready to go. In that 15 minutes, I'll take like of about 5 to 10 minutes to kind of again brush up on what the company does and what is the name of the company, who am I talking to, go through their LinkedIn or what, or their Instagram, whatever, or what, like the basic thing of what they want. Again, the second thing I'll do is go through the JD, because JD will tell you what you actually want, what they actually expect out of you. So it's really nice to go through the JD as well. Some things that I'll do is, again, how I told you, I'll sit down and visualize myself getting this particular job. I will also kind of control my breathing. I read this somewhere. If you have control on your breath, you can control everything. Like you can control your anxiety, you can control how you feel. If you are scared, if you are worried, you'll always be able to control it. So I will make sure that a minute or 2 minutes before the interview, I will sit down and I'll take like a deep breath and tell myself, I am confident enough to crack this interview. I can do anything in this world. I'm good for this job. I deserve this job. I am worth it. I'm worth the money, because I feel like it has happened with me where I'm like, oh, maybe that's too much, that's too little, that budget that they have. So the package that they have, uh, that's not enough for me. So that is too much for me. I've experienced that. So I'll always tell myself, I deserve it. I deserve better. I deserve this money. I deserve this experience. I deserve a good experience at this interview. I deserve I deserve uh, having better things in life, etc., etc. Because when I visualize it, I know that I can do it. Yes, I think my friend Mohit has commented that controlling your breath is the biggest lesson in life. It is. It is the biggest thing in life, because when you are able to control your breath, you are able to control anything. Like I know that I have cried. I have had days where I've cried a lot, or I'm feeling extremely emotional. I will just, like, settle myself down and take like 2, 3 deep breaths, and they will actually help me. Deep breaths can help you anywhere. Like I just do 3 deep breaths and I calm myself down to do anything in this world. Yes, breath. So let me again kind of summarize what we spoke about. The professional things, I will first go through the professional things is dress well, have your camera and place lit so that the person is able to communicate with you. Always make sure if you're sharing the house with somebody, you communicate to them as well, ki, hey, I'm going into an interview, please don't disturb me, because you never know. Always wear like a good comfortable t-shirt and pants, have your fan on or something, connect your earphones to your laptop so that you are able to hear what they are telling you, and they are able to hear what they are telling you, that you are telling them. Dress professionally, have like decent makeup where it looks like you put in effort to get into this interview. Wear whatever you feel like is your lucky charm. um, take deep breaths, research about the company, I mean, look at the JD, look at what the company is doing, and genuinely imagine that you are sitting in like at a higher position, whatever, like, dream position that is, and you're going to do great at this interview. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. I deserve this job. I deserve better things in life. I deserve this interview. I deserve a better experience. If this is my dream job, let it come to me. Let me have a good experience with the person that I talk to. Let me crack this interview. And I always do this. At the same time, again, one more thing that I forgot, which is show up as your true, genuine, honest self. Um, do eye contact with the person that you're talking to. Make sure that you come off as kind. You ask them about their day, ask them about the role, ask them always whenever the person asks you, hey, do you have any questions? Make sure that you are able to ask those questions on about the interview. And I hope you crack your interview. I think that's all I had. It's 7:45. My interview begins at 8 p.m. I'm going to take the 15 minutes to calm my energy down and get ready for this interview. And also eat a snack, get a water bottle, and get ready. Thank you so much for watching. I love creating content, and I love that you guys are here to support me. See you in the next one. Bye.